In this video we're going to see how to add and subtract integers. We're going to start with addition, and to do it we need to know two major rules: adding two numbers with the same sign and adding two numbers with different sign. To add two numbers with the same sign, like 2 plus 3, the rule is to keep the same sign, which is plus, and we don't have to write it if it's in the beginning, and we add the absolute value. So the rule is to keep the same sign and add the absolute value. If you have negative 2 plus negative 3, always the same sign, we keep it and we add absolute value, which is negative 5. Let's take two more examples. Negative 10 plus negative 5, we keep the same sign and add absolute values. And let's say 17 plus 3, which is 20. Now to add two numbers with different signs, as negative 2 plus 3. Now we have two different signs, positive and negative and positive. So here we gotta keep the sign of the number with the largest absolute value, which is 3. So we're gonna keep plus, and after that we subtract the absolute value. We take the smallest one out of the biggest, and it's 1. It's plus 1. Take another example. Negative 5 plus 6 is also, the largest absolute value is 6, and it has a positive sign, which is positive, and the difference of the absolute values is 1. Let's take 2 plus negative 10. Now the largest absolute value is of minus 10, so we keep the minus and abstract 2 from 10 to get 8. Let's take another example. Let's say 7 minus 7, negative 7 plus 3. So we keep the sign of negative 7 because it's the farthest from 0, or it has the largest absolute value. So we keep the negative sign, and the difference between the two absolute values is 4. Here we can, to simplify this, we can compare a positive number as winning something, some dollars for example, and negative numbers like losing something, losing some dollars. I can say here that I won $2 plus winning $3 is winning $5. Losing $2 and then losing $3 is losing $5. Losing 10 and then losing 5. Losing after losing is always losing the sum. of the losses, which is 15. Here winning and then winning is winning the sum, which is 20. Here I lost 2 and then won 3. I'm left with 1. It's like a 1-1. I lost 5 and then won 6. It's like a 1-1. Winning 2 and then losing 10. It's like losing 8. Because you won first, but you lost more. Losing 7 and then winning 3. So the loss decreases here. So it lost only 4 because I won 3. We can follow this logic, but you can do whatever you want. It's good as long as you get the results. Now for subtracting two numbers, it's equivalent to adding the opposite. For example, if I take 10 minus 2, it's like 10 plus negative 2. Subtracting 2 is like adding negative 2. So here it's a sum, so we gotta stick to the rule. Sum of two numbers with different sign, keep the sign with the largest absolute value, which is plus, and subtract the absolute value to get plus 8. Let's take minus 7 minus 3. It's minus 7 plus the opposite of 3, which is negative 3. Now I have two numbers with the same sign. I keep it and add the absolute values, which is 10. So it's negative 10. Let's say I have 20 minus negative 4. Subtracting a negative number. It's like I'm taking out a debt, for example. If I take a debt, it's like I'm giving money to someone. Or simply subtracting a negative, it's like adding its opposite. So it's 20 plus the opposite, which is 4. So it's 24. Now to sum this up, if there are no parentheses, we can use only the addition rule. For example, if I have 2 minus 3, this is a difference, but I can consider it as a sum and say that 2 has a positive sign and 3 has a negative, and use the rule of addition of two numbers with different signs. So the largest absolute value is 1, and it's preceded by a negative, and the difference is 1. If I have negative 7, negative 2, so it's like the sum of two numbers with the same sign. I keep it and add the absolute values to get 9, minus 9. If I have minus 20 plus 5, it's clearly the sum of two numbers with different sign. Keep the sign of the largest absolute value and subtract them to get 15. It's negative 15. And if there are parentheses, I can use this rule to get rid of them and then apply the same rules as before. when you have two successive signs, if they are the same, then it's positive, and if they are different, it's negative. For example, if I have plus followed by a plus, it's positive. If I have negative followed by negative, it's positive. If I have negative and followed by positive, it's negative. And positive followed by negative, it's negative. If they're the same, it's positive. If they're different, it's negative. So if you have -3 minus 4, so two successive signs and they're the same, so it's -3 plus 4. And now I consider it as a sum of two numbers with different sign. Keep the plus and subtract. If I have -2 minus or plus -3, I can get rid of the parentheses. Here it's preceded by a plus, so it's -2. Here also preceded by plus is -3. So the sum of two numbers with the same sign, I can calculate it from here, but if I got this, there's no need to come back here. So it's negative, keep the same sign and add the absolute values. Let's say I have 10 plus -3. Here I have this sum, so I can calculate it directly, but I can get rid of the parentheses and get 10 minus 3. It's clearly 7, but if you follow the rule, you keep the plus from the largest absolute value and subtract to get 7 plus 7 or 7.